All right, we're live. This is Tales from the Flipside Monday night. Back from hiatus, I would call it. We were all busy last week. So our illustrious panel is here again, like we always are. We got some breaking news from New York Comic Con. We have people already saying New York Comic Con was great. I will give you a reason it wasn't so great. We'll talk about that. We got a market report. I got a pickup. I know other people have pickups, so let's get this thing going and we can get started. So let's go. Here we go. Open the news. Some people weren't here when we were going over news and appreciate that's okay. We're gonna go through it slightly. I only got a couple. I mean, there's more stuff. But, CBCS comes out with a new label for the fifth time.
Yeah.
At least.
Whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. I don't know. That picture doesn't make it look that bad. I do think the differentiation is cool. I don't know. They just copied Beckett with the 10. Next thing you know, you're gonna see a black 10 with an off-white. But yeah, I don't know. I like.
I'm not sure why they differentiated the 9.9 and the 10.
Well, CGC does it. So.
Wait, did they skip 9.6? So does it go 9.4, 9.8, 9.9, and 10? Do they skip the 9.6?
I think they're just showing the difference in colors. I mean, I'm sure they have it, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
look at this thing.
In my mind, they definitely fucking skipped it, and in yours, I see. But
no one cares about 9.6 books. They went after Dr. Joe on that one. So like, look at this. You actually can like, whoa. Look at that.
Oh,
they must have paid big money for this.
Zippity doodah.
Yeah, so
I can't read either one.
It does look a lot more like CGC now.
Yeah,
it looks like PGX, dude.
I gotta blow this up.
Does it?
Pull up PGX. Pull up the new PGX.
Oh God. I haven't looked in a while, so.
Me and Carter were on this last week. PGX's website, and we were like,
probably their website.
Yeah, and it was
I don't know what they're.
This site is owned by no one.
Oh no, it's brutal. Like, look at oh my goodness, look at all this around me.
Bro, it's straight PGX. Look. Tell me it does look more like PGX.
I don't know. I need a better view.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do. I can't click on anything. I wish they would press announcements on this thing. I always fuck this up.
I mean, it's like a weird amalgam between PGX and CGC.
But it won't let me click. Here we go. Maybe I can do this.
Can we get a bigger view of PGX?
Are you going to start giving out more 9.9s? Maybe I'll use you.
There we go. Is that better?
Well, man, you're right. The one side does have a vibe.
PGX. But go to but check out like the 9.8's a little closer because the colors match.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh man, I don't know.
Scroll around. I'm sorry.
I only grade books for. I mean,
wow, you're right.
I got no problem with 9.8 CBCS PC books.
It is way too similar. Like,
pull up the CGC right now too.
Before you go, all right.
I mean, they were trying to differentiate and not steal their vibe, but they're both moving closer.
I mean, I don't know. It all looks the same to me, dude.
All I know is I thought PGX.
So my thing too is like, so one of the comments was like, they still are doing the stupid putting restored above here and giving it a blue label, so you have to look like. And then they're using yellow labels for signatures, even though they're verified reds and not yellows. Like, you know.
I don't know, man.
See, witness and verified signature are yellows now when they used to be reds, you know, because they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, they changed it a long time ago, though.
Right. At any point, does anybody actually care that they have a new label?
No. Like, honestly, that just the same way that Beckett 10 for cards.
Yeah.
Could be you know what I mean?
And like one of the comments was like, just
it.
use the fucking Beckett stuff. Like it looks okay. Like you just don't have to do the centering and the cornering shit. Just use it. Put Beckett on there and see. You know, it's like I don't know.
Dude, is that a real comic or did they make that up?
I assume it's real.
No, that's real. I've heard of Isom.
Okay.
I mean, we've changed labels about every 2 years at this point.
It's funny. I'm the one. I hit it once in 2 weeks, so they should be happy. Halo had the best labels.
What if yeah, Halo was bad. What if we have from CGC 3, right? We've had, not including color, like I mean the color change from the maroon moderns.
Nah, we've had more than that. We've had
probably 4 major.
I feel like there's been 3 to a universal label and from the font.
They kind of changed. There was the original one, then they changed to the kind of the one we were used to forever.
Yeah.
And then there was one kind of during the Franken slab age that was somewhere between the old one and the one it is now.
I thought
it's not much different, but it's just little tweaks.
I thought it went from the first blues that they had.
There was that.
To the ones that they had for like 10 years to these ones. I thought there was only 3.
I thought there was a tweak in the middle somewhere. Like
so
between
it was like
this is what I thought.
Yeah, not red, blue, and then old schools.
So are they still on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on the bottom one.
All right, then truthfully, then 3, because I don't even count the red. That was
that doesn't. It's the same label. They just switch the color. It's not
still cool though.
For this purpose, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, so that's about every 5 years they tweak it. Probably less.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget
less than that.
Well, I guess don't forget the big pedigree change that they just did also.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, but I'm just talking, dude. Just the shit that we mail in every day.
Yeah, sure.
Most of us aren't dealing with the other stuff, but yeah, I agree. I mean, there's been all kinds of stuff, and the custom labels, of course, which CBCS can't do.
I just mean, even if
I don't
you're
know why
CBC,
they don't get some DC custom labels.
If you're a CBCS diehard, I mean, at this point, you got all kinds of labels that look all kinds of different and all kinds of things.
I just wish I hate to say it, I just wish their serial number wasn't fucking like a Da Vinci code. Like, just give me numbers and be good. Like, I'm not trying to be that dude. Like I literally tried to look it up on the census for like the code for notes, and it was like can't find book. I'm like, I literally typed it like it is. Like
they just mess up, man. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. Do I give a shit about this? No, it was the same over there in the first place.
Yeah,
I mean, I give a shit in a conversation point for a podcast. I give you my opinion on it.
Hey, bring back the rivets,
doesn't
man.
Change my life other than when we stop talking about it tonight.
Hey, bring back the rivets.
Does a new label make you want to submit to anybody one way or the other?
No. That was actually my it doesn't. And that was actually my comment on their first post. They said, "Oh, we're a big surprise for you." And I said, "You're bringing back the rivets?"
I mean, I guess okay, so I won't shit on it completely. It does look a hell of a lot cleaner than the old labels, but a lot of people were saying like they're still using like really crappy paper for the label itself. And they're saying too that like, you know, it's just sometimes it's hard to read, you know, like it's so small because they just put a lot of shit on the front and like you flip on the back and there's just as much fucking verbiage. So it's like, I mean, that's my whole kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It would take a lot more than a label to make me send one there.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing too is like, if the value difference, we talk about it. I know people hate us for it, but like, if the value difference was the same, I mean, did it really offend me that these books are, you know, CBCS? Not really.
No, and you know, they're still good at grading comics.
Yeah.
So that's really all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what percentage of people are CBCS diehards at this point.
Yeah, that's a valid question.
I think that one guy posted he might not like these or something like that.
Our favorite?
The way they're down to 1. So.
Yeah. Well.
What did our friend in Detroit say?
Oh, I didn't talk to him about it. I saw him a couple weeks ago, but it was before this announcement.
I think he posted something about that he didn't like it or something. I don't know. I saw he had some posts arguing with some
he wasn't consulted.
People he was calling trolls or something like that.
That's funny.
I don't know, man. Like I just don't see that much CGC. I mean, I do CGC in a lot of searches on eBay. To be honest, I'm looking for more specific things when I buy than just a slab book. I usually look for something I can, you know, being a presser, I'm gonna look for something I can get a raw deal on usually before I'm gonna do a slab. But even I'll use like say 9.8 in my search more without CBCS or CGC, and I don't get that much CBCS that pops up.
I haven't
The
even
way
seen
that CGC is getting books back, man, they're just getting them back fast. Like what I consider fast. New people might be like, "Oh, it's not always like this." Like, no, dude, it's not.
No, you didn't live through the 9 months.
No,
of
this is pure luck. Yeah,
and I haven't seen a new label.
Back.
Yeah, I haven't seen a new label listed on. I just hit CBCS new label, but
I bet they aren't. I bet they haven't really shipped yet.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting what those prices are, and maybe.
The turnaround times over at CGC have gotten just dumb fast. Like I had an order of 23 pre-screened, get checked in on the 27th of September, back on the 10th of October.
Yeah, it might be an eBay difference. Like, I mean, if I see a CBCS book, I mean, I'll hack it down a little bit. But I mean, it's not like I'm like, oh my god, I really don't want this book. But,
yeah, they sell for a little more. I've got an account. It's a dealer account, so it's cheaper for me. They're coming back fast. It's easy for me to standardize listings and sell things. Yeah, it's just that. And I don't think we've been doing it as much. I don't think, John, you've been highlighting it as much. But I know you used to do a little more price comparison on here between the two.
I don't. I think it's truly I don't see as many CBCSs pop up. Like
That's
it used to be, I would see a couple sell of similar books, and I have to kind of see them side by side for it to trigger, and I just haven't seen much of it.
Interesting. Okay, well, so I mean, that's it's something. I guess I don't really know.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'll try and see if I see any updates, but I mean, there's just always a little bit of a premium.
I mean, they added a blue arrow. I mean, that's cool. Okay. So we talked about that. Let's get all this. Wonder Man, rumored to have been scrapped by Marvel Studios. The series was filming prior to the strikes, and got the old slash. It looks like maybe.
Well,
I mean, who knows? But at least that one felt like you were getting something new. You didn't really know what you're getting.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors out around. One of the things that in the negotiation that changed is the nature of how you run television shows now in this post-strike era. TV or showrunners were not a necessity before, and now they are. So what Marvel used to do is they used to just have a head writer, and it was basically show by committee with no real, like they kind of, as they made it up as they were filming or would piece it together. At least in the Bayou days, they would straight up just piece it together in editing. So they may not even have the true story planned out. They were just like, get the coverage and we'll figure out the story in editing. And they kind of kept that same formula on the TV show side of things and realized that shit don't really work. Especially for something that is as continuity heavy as the TV shows are relative to the movies now. So one of the big changes is that the title of head writer is also like there needs to be a showrunner, and that they at least have to pin the pilot of the show. So they had to be the one who wrote the pilot, and that will be your person who will be what was previously the head writer is now the showrunner on the in this new post-strike era. And I think to meet those standards, a lot of things got changed or either straight up just thrown out. Is the reason why Daredevil partly got changed, is because they have to adhere to these new rules now. And so they were like, well, we're already not happy with the product, and we just don't feel like this is going where we want it to. So fuck it, just throw it all away and we'll start again and we'll meet the new standards. So I just think a lot of this stuff is going to end up tossed to the wayside because they're just like, we gotta adhere to new standards, and also they weren't happy with the products. Like Blade has apparently restarted again from scratch. Daredevil, a couple other shows were just scrapped entirely that were planned. So I think they're thinning the herd. So
Well, it'll be interesting to see what comes out next round of announcements, I guess, because they've killed half of it. And anything that was coming is behind now.
I think that's the bigger problem. It's like the whole behind thing. It's like 6-7 months, however long it's been delayed. So I got this comment in the chat that NYCC was great. Well, this wasn't the great. It was reported that someone took a dump on the show floor of New York Comic Con. So,
didn't they blame it on Cosmo?
Yeah, they blamed it on a dog. Yes,
motherfuckers.
None of us were there. Damn it.
So now I do want to. I interviewed somebody about this. So now you might have think I've given up on trying to find this person out. I've been trying to find out who took a dump on the Comic Con floor. Okay. And maybe you think it's a victimless crime. I don't. But I met this guy. Okay. This guy. This is Mr. Venezuela. Okay. Okay. He's the janitor. Okay. And he's the person who has to clean up with some trickster. Okay. Drops a Duke on the Comic Con floor. Okay. That guy makes $6 an hour at best. He got 3 kids at home. He's got a car that barely works. He's got to clean up puke with sawdust. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I just think I saw there is an image floating around the Twitterverse. If people want to take a gander, I'm not going to show it. It doesn't look like let's just say it doesn't look like a dog.
From a dog here.
Yeah, and B, it was
there's pictures. I didn't see any pictures. Put the dookie up.
Must mean the bathroom situation was real rough around there.
Okay, so they were saying that. Okay, so I heard it was between the celebrity signings and Artist Alley, maybe, or something like that. And I heard too that it was that the lines were so deep during the celebrity autographs that people weren't getting out of line, so they just shit themselves.
Oh God,
that's where we're at today's world, people.
I mean, that honestly sounds legitimate. Like somebody being so unwilling, being like, "No,
I got to get this autograph."
I mean, I got to meet this person. Fuck, getting out of line. Like, no, I'm not losing my place to get this Funko Pop. Like,
yeah, got to be dedicated.
Though I don't. Yeah. I didn't see New York being the show that happened. I feel like that. As somebody who regularly attends San Diego, that felt like some San Diego shit. Like,
pun intended.
Yeah,
right.
Or some fucking Florida shit.
Yeah, like if I get out of
then
line,
you can just say Florida man took shit in.
Yeah.
Let's go with Orlando.
Yeah, like I stand to lose out on buying this $5,000 worth of exclusive Funkos or whatever. Like,
I threw it in the private chat so you guys can see it.
Yeah.
God, I don't know if I'd allow it.
It was San Francisco Con or something.
Yeah.
No, I mean it looks like it kind of looks like hot mustard got thrown on the floor, but yo, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't know, man. It is crazy. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, and like, if you need to go to the bathroom, like,
who's not going to see them do
it? So my thing too is like, if you're a loan charger, I get that part, but most everybody usually, right, for the most part, brings somebody, a friend. How many Comic Cons we gone to and like met people who are like, oh, I have a daughter, or I have a son, or I have somebody who's with me, right? There's not too many lone soldiers out there, in the celebrity autograph aisle. So,
maybe it was a cosplayer with a creative suit that just needed to,
that
even saw it happen.
That is a pure Hershey squirt, dude. That was somebody. I felt that person's pain.
Where's the video? It's on Twitter. Just look on Twitter. Yeah. There's no video. So that's the other thing. They didn't have a video of it, but somebody said they just smelt it and just people started running for their lives.
Oh,
and then security was just standing around with Michigan.
Dude, I watched I watched a kid at Star Wars Celebration just straight barf.
Oh god.
All over the ground. Just like out of nowhere. And it was the one before, well, it was in Anaheim, but so it was the one before this one. So it was like, the world kind of coming back. So it wasn't as there wasn't as many vendors, which mean it basically not as a crowded area. It was easier to walk around. Also, it was on Thursday. And I saw some kid just blow chunks all over the fucking ground. And like, oh, it's like, all right. And it was yeah. I mean, it was an old enough kid. It wasn't like a baby. It had to be like probably like 9 years old or something.
So to recap all this, all I gotta say about this is when you crap on a Comic Con floor, okay, you might as well just drop your pants and just lay a turd around on top of Mr. Venezuela's head. Because that's what you're basically doing. That's what you're basically doing.
Couldn't you have just used a PGX slab and saved everybody some trouble?
I mean,
wear a diaper, dude. Double bag it. Just some briefs and some boxers over it.
No, man, you gotta get some Depends, dude. Just get some
layers,
Depends,
man.
Jesus.
Like, isn't that what all the Packer fans do?
Yeah.
Does this make you feel like the old Neil Adams story and the towel?
Peeing in the towels.
This reminds me of I don't know. Have you guys been in the New York ball drop on New Year's Eve? Everyone wears diapers because you can't get out of the fucking like Times Square, so you just wear diapers and piss and shit themselves.
Oh,
Because you can't leave. So when you're watching Ryan Seacrest walk around, everyone's just shitting their pants.
Dude, when I know I'm gonna get stuck somewhere, let's say it was like 12 boxes of like 12 pills at Walmart are like $1. They're all generic.
Yeah.
Look, man. I know how many it says to take, but you better
take enough, it'll stop.
Better safe than sorry, man. Getting old, dude.
That's great.
Sometimes shit happens, literally.
So that's do you want to bring any of this stuff up you brought in the chat?
Yeah,
Chris?
sure. Let's throw it up just because I mean, there's people who vaguely will give a shit.
That's okay.
So yeah, as I mentioned before, they basically have scrapped everything. Like they had like I think 4 episodes shot, and it sounds like people were like, "This ain't it." Like, and of all the things where they got to get it right is Daredevil, because we've already seen it work once, and a lesser product will definitely be held against them. So I think they were just like, "This ain't it. Scrap it. We got to meet the new standards anyway of how we staff this thing."
And they were saying it's a traditional way, like so. Basically, they were saying that it's not the Netflix version that people loved. It was like another version, and people were like,
I mean, I've heard rumors that this thing was going to be another legal procedural that we didn't even get Daredevil in costume until episode 4.
"Wow!"
Like a lot of this just coming out is just like,
What is this, Iron Fist again? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, there was supposedly a legal thing, right? I mean, the costume they can get away with it if they do it right, if they've got Fisk fucking people up and stuff like that. But do they want another She-Hulk? I like She-Hulk for what it was, by the way. I do like She-Hulk, but I'm just saying a lot of backlash on that, and that's not what people expect from Daredevil.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be quite as gritty as it was, but you need to keep some of the soul of the character.
yeah.
He is not a wisecracking, quipping kind of, Spider-Man guy. He's a different character.
And he was straight up in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Can't they go from somewhere in that realm?
I mean, possibly. I mean, there were rumors that, like all this is just now starting to come out. Now those episodes have been scrapped where we didn't get him in costume until episode 4. Legal procedural that was like very like serious legal procedural type stuff of him just not being able to put people in jail the right way. So beating the shit out of him, as a hero. There was talk that both Karen and Fozzie were killed off in episode 1, and so we have him without those 2 characters.
That's what I was gonna say, because that was a major portion of Netflix, right? It's like them, 3 amigos in it, kind of.
Yeah, so I think all in all, they just realized that what they had wasn't it, and they were like, just scrap it all. Let's screw it.
More D'Onofrio.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's that. Let's see. Let's pivot to one of the other random things.
I can't play it, so I won't play it, but I'll just say so they have official YouTube. You can look it up. Mortal Kombat Omni-Man first looks.
So the way they're doing it is Omni-Man will be one of the first DLC characters to drop, and he's dropping on surprise November 3rd, which coincides with the release of the new season of Invincible. Yeah, these guys know what they're doing. We don't get Homelander. He's the last of the DLC to drop, and he will probably coincide with when they finally drop The Boys season 4.
And then season 2 trailer of Invincible just dropped 2 days ago. So if you want to check that out.
Full trailer for season 2 is available. Again, they've announced the episode schedule with November 3rd being the first of the episodes. So there's that. I don't think there's anything else in the the oeuvre. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, things are getting back up to speed again from a film perspective. So there'll be more news probably around stuff coming out of the MCU and DC pretty soon. James Gunn has not been one to hold his tongue about what he's doing, so we'll probably start to get more casting announcements and information around that. But I mean, we're moving into end of the year type of information. There's also a lot of cool stuff for people who actually read comic books. So at least mentioning of what's going to happen in comics relative to the new Ultimate Universe. We're finally seeing the end of Croaca with the fall of the House of X and the rise of the Powers of 10. So that'll be something if you stuck with the X-Men over these last 2-3 years since the restart under Hickman that no longer has Hickman. That's about it for comic book news.
I feel like I need a Cliff Notes X-Men these days.
Yeah.
It started off so strong and then went to shit real fast. Pretty much once Hickman left, it was like, oh, okay, he clearly was the brains behind what was happening here, and now they're just. It felt cash grabby. Like I was buying 20 X-Men books. I was like, I wasn't buying this many X-Men books in the 90s.
Oh wow!
Like,
I
I
think
bad.
that's the issue. Sometimes it's like you need the storyteller, and once he moves on, it's so hard. I was reading something about the new run with Nightwing kind of taking over, and they're like, man, the character's finally good again. He had some starts and some stops, and then Dan Dido tries to kill him all the time, and then they turn him into worthless for 5 years, and then they do something great again, and it's like they need to keep a writer on a run for a while at this point.
Yeah, I mean, what it really goes to is giving the people what they actually like. And when I say the people, I mean the creatives, what they actually want, whatever that may be, if it's the right type of payment, if it's the right type of control. But like, it's like they don't want to give them what's necessary to keep them happy, and then they bail, and then the books suffer forward because they still think that the characters are selling their books. And it's like, nah, we're past that point. Like, if your writing's not good, I'm just not going to buy your book. And I don't care how much I love the X-Men. If I'm getting shit X-Men stories, I'm just not going to buy X-Men books.
Yeah.
So
you guys brought up Homelander, man. Gen V is an interesting show.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so good.
So good.
And I was surprised too because when you talked about it last week, I started binge watching over the weekend, 2 weekends ago now. So I got to like 4, and then me and Chris were talking behind the show, and we're like, is it just 4? And that's like their season, but they're just dropping weekly now.
They think they dropped 2 originally or 3, and then they've been doing weekly.
Yeah,
and then we talked about Loki too. So Loki season 2 episodes in.
I haven't caught Loki, but man, I think this week's Gen V's got Soldier Boy. I've read.
Yep.
In some capacity. We also did establish last episode there's somebody on that campus who can like shapeshift. So that might be what we're seeing happen.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay.
It might be historical footage of when Soldier Boy was a student on campus. So it might be like a spoof on the Captain America PSA videos. Who knows?
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's been good. I will say, like, Gen V and Loki with, only 2 episodes in, but Loki really has been a shining gem in comparison to the rest of Marvel television at this point.
Agreed.
But I mean, it's
it was
really,
kind of the last show that we all kind of talked about. Like,
yeah,
it's great.
But it's weird though, because again, it's like if you stop and look at what's happening, it has been action packed. It's not your stereotypical superhero fare. It is people in rooms talking to each other and actors chewing up scenery and being actors. Correct. And it just so happens to be using the backdrop of Marvel MCU comic book characters. But if it was Tom Hiddleston and what's his face who I'm blanking on, Owen Wilson, just sitting in a room like having a back and forth, as actors, this is just a good piece of cinema. So
I think Loki and Hiddleston have always outperformed expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
One more side note: I did the Halloween Horror Nights this weekend. Last weekend. It was pretty badass.
Nice.
Did you make it this year or no?
So, I guess I've never mentioned this on the show before. So, okay, so again, my tradition is always to do it, but this year we're doing it in Japan.
Oh,
I will
nice.
be missing the show for 2 weeks because I will be flying out to Japan for a vacation. And the first thing that we're doing when we touch down is the next 2 nights we are going to be at Universal and doing the Universal
Sweet.
Halloween Horror Nights in Japan. So
My kid was talking about that one. So
You're
Oh,
gonna
no.
you're gonna be like a celebrity there. You're like a tall dude. It's gonna be. They're gonna think you're like a basketball player.
no, see, it's funny because this is the second time. This will be my second time going to Japan. The first time was right after UNC won the national championship for basketball, college basketball, and it wasn't like a matter of being mistaken. It was like kids coming up because they realized I was American because they heard me speaking, and they were just like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, I said I'm from North Carolina," and oh no, they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "I'm from the States." They're like, "No, where in the States?" I was like, "I'm from North Carolina." And they're like, "Oh, UNC national champions." I was like, and they're the rivals of my alma mater. So I was like, I'm trying not to say "fuck UNC" to a bunch of like 9-year-olds, but it was just funny though because like we as Americans are rarely ever super plugged into what's happening in the rest of the world because we truly do believe we are the center of the universe. And the rest of the world is always so much more plugged into what's happening here, whether it be politically, whether it be sports, whether it be, and I get it, like, we are, basketball, football, like, for most of the sports that anybody cares about, we are the center of the universe. But like they are really plugged into on a level where, I'm surprised whenever I go out of the country and I'm just like, people really know what's happening here, and we rarely ever know what's happening there.
Nice. Yeah.
Very true.
I got. Want to do the market report there, Chief?
Yeah, I'll do the market report.
Good one.
I will note there's a few books from last week.
You put all that work in, so
I saved a few that were interesting. I don't usually include these, but I found this to be. Let's see, where's that? Did I not send it? Oh, here it is. I don't include these. I just thought this one was really amusing. Isn't the American Psycho business card variant?
Our buddy International Comics had like 20 of these boys. So
I thought it was amusing. That was it. I
actually want one of these, but I'm not paying $380 for that.
No.
It should only be in bone white, right?
I know. It's white.
Good point.
But it did amuse me. It was in the price point, so I put it on here. I have no interest or no copies of it. I just thought it was funny.
And shout out to Mel, because Mel says the letters are actually raised on the comic.
Oh,
Which is even better.
nice. So I just appreciate whoever put the effort into that one. All right, Sean, what didn't you have one of these bad boys?
No.
Okay. Oh, that was
No, I did, but I had the year before, the original one.
The big one.
Yeah, so the OG one.
This still selling
was
pretty damn well.
This is, I think, I sold it for, so Heartless found it, got a hold of me to help sell it. So I did. Found a guy that's bought a bunch of big books. Like I knew who he was, just from his posts and everything else. I did look him up to make sure first, actually. So I think we got like $8,000 for it.
Oh,
and it was pretty good. And then so Heartless had all the pictures, and then because it being prestige or die cut, whatever you want to say, the graphic novel format, solid. It wasn't going to be something you could really press or anything like that. Didn't want to sell it, so we just sent it off to CGC for the guy. So get a 9.8 for the guy, and he got the book for $8,000, and I never saw the book or touched it, and got a lot of money. So that was a great flip for me.
nice.
But yeah, so this is the next one.
Okay.
I think they did it the same way, just randomly handed it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did a guy in Australia get it? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but I
They
mean,
did
shit,
me.
it's $5,000 and change is pretty good price for the second one.
Yeah.
Well, also, we are coming up on, this year is D23. It's the 100th anniversary of Disney. So anything that's like super limited from previous years of D23 is definitely going to be on people's radar right now.
They're gonna do a gold plated one for D100. Gold, straight gold. Bro.
Yeah, I do wonder what this year's, because we haven't had this year's yet, or did we already have D23?
No, I think it's
It's October, right?
I think it's
Soon.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the Disney and Star Wars, specific materials will be coming out of D23 this year.
Or did we have it and it was dead?
Oh, it was September 8th.
Yeah, it was dead this year because they couldn't talk about anything.
Gotcha. Yep, that is right. Okay.
Yeah, I remember they were like, yeah, it happened.
So next year it'll be August 9th.
So hopefully
Anaheim.
they'll have some shit.
Yeah.
Something to talk about after they scrap all these shows. Going a little out of order. This was a book I don't know that I have seen. I'm sure it's not a $300 book, not signed and all that good stuff, but it was cool. I can't say I've seen this book before.
I think me and Carter talked about this book. But yeah, it's not a $300 book. It's probably a $100 book, but still, it's like if you find it in a back bin somewhere, like,
It'd be one I would buy just for the, it's got a pretty large name recognition.
Yeah.
It's Bendis. I didn't realize he.
Bendis and Marvel. Yeah. To be honest, I just noticed both of those things.
Well,
Yeah.
that and Keith David. It's funny. I just got done having a conversation with somebody a couple hours ago about Keith David and how if Samuel L. Jackson didn't exist, Keith David would have had a much bigger career.
it's not a bad suggestion either. I like that comment. There's 2 99s of this book. Just so you know.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
And there's a 99 signature series.
Huh.
There's
Interesting.
169 98s too, so it's not rare.
Really?
Those 169 98s are 34 signed. I don't get it. It just says signed, so I don't know. It's double signed.
Huh.
Double signed, but just
I wouldn't have thought that many, but I guess if it's a Marvel book, there's more than you think.
and look at that, multiple variants of Halo Uprising series. So
All right. It's a cool looking cover. It caught my eye.
there's a second print too of this. So.
Jesus Christ. All right. I brought up a full fucking wormhole.
Hey, I'm trying to do it all for you, brother.
Maybe one of my favorites, Crow One, first auction I've seen of a 9.8 in some time. I did some tracking. The high point in GPA was 4 of 22. It was 14,400. There was an SS that sold in that same time range for $18K. I am almost positive on Heritage there was a $20K sale.
Well, that was the first like 9.8s that trickled out ever, right?
No,
Okay.
there was one recently, like in the 2021, 2022 range. I think that whatever one doesn't report, I don't think Heritage reports, right?
Correct.
I think they had one that closed around 20, but that was the high water mark. It's kind of coming back to where it's been. This is outside of a couple big sales. This is where it had lived prior. So, side note, there's still 72 9.8s, where there are currently 72 9.8s.
Oh, Halo. I was like, Jesus. Cool.
Let's see. All right, there are quite a few big boy books that sold, and I did some digging just to see where we're at. So ASM 1, most of these were Sparkle City, I think. If not, they were another big seller. But you get a respectable seller, and you get a real time. So it's a fairly good kind of place to look for a true sale. It's not unknown sellers and not crap time. So just some details. This one sold at $17K and change.
I think that's a great deal for a 6.0.
Yeah. So this year there were 2 other sales, one in May for $22,800 and one in June for $20K even. In 2022, there were 7 sales. One was as high as $48K, the lowest being $18,500. The average for that year was $29,500. So you're down quite a bit from that high point. There was a 6.5 sale in August for $28,800. So this seems like a pretty good buy-in price. I don't know what's going to happen next, truthfully. But you're down almost 40% from the top. Well, not even the top. 40% from you scratch out that $48K sale. There was still a lot in the high 20s, and there were a couple in the low 30s. That 48 was an anomaly, but still, That's a real big jump down.
Yeah, that one was probably signed in Stan Lee's blood.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't say it. It didn't note anything. So
Yeah.
So there was that. There was the FF1.
I thought this was a good deal too.
Also, Sparkle City. The high watermark for this book was also 4 of 2022, which, you know, again, a lot of them were 26K and change. There was the lowest sale I see was 3 of 23 was 9K. The 2022 average was 18K, and the 12-month average is 12.3. So even on averages, you're still down a little over a third. So, yeah, I don't know. The big books are not immune to shit.
But we talked about the economy's tight, right? So like you don't have that many bidders.
Yeah.
I mean, now you have luxurious billionaires and tech kids out there and stuff like that.
I think there's less money circulating for sure on hobbies. Hulk 155, which is a pretty respectable grade for this book. In April of this year, one sold for 45K, and in May, one sold for 33.6. So that's actually quite a more significant drop because I mean, most of these other ones we were comparing to 2022, early 2022. This is just from what 6 months back, almost 40% down. The high water mark was 54K in May of 2022. 12 months average 35K. 22 average was 47K. So I mean,
fucking thing was at 10 grand a point.
Yeah, it's down a bit. I don't know, man. I don't know what's good, what's bad.
Chris, you kind of dealt in these styles of books. Do you hold this? Do you buy it? Do you go to flip it? Do you?
I mean, on the FF1, I'm probably holding at that price, hoping that it's, you know, if I bought into that price, I'm definitely holding because I'm definitely hoping that it returns back to where it was again.
Fucking Carbo in '98 for $500. Let's go.
I mean, and the thing is, like, I mean, with Sparkle City and all these auctions, the issue is that you're hoping that you catch the right person at the right time, and it really can be doubling the value of your book if you just catch the right eyes. Like case in point, I ran an auction a week ago for a book. Person didn't end up paying, so immediately reposted it, and the book sold for double what it did at the end of the last auction.
Well, funny you say that. I'm going to go back in a minute to the next one, but final one on the big boy books is this 181, 11K and change. I didn't get in as much weeds, but the 22 average was 18K. The 12 months average is 13.7. We're still below that. This book might look familiar from Sparkle City. They sold it 2 weeks ago. We didn't do last week. 2 weeks ago for 5,100-ish. Either didn't get paid, something happened, they relisted it, and they got an extra $600-700 out of it. I had to dig and find that old sale, and I did see somewhere in September a 9.4 sold for $5,300. So that was a fucking steal.
Now this is old label too, right? Yeah,
Yes, we talked about this one last time, saying, well, a price bump would be worth it. So I don't know. Again, like you said, the right set of eyes, you get a little more money on it. And maybe rerunning it, somebody regretted it and said, well, I'm not going to miss it again.
Yep, definitely.
Couple more obscure items. I saw one was from a couple weeks ago and one was this week. Some Hughes books that don't come across very often. Mid-Ohio Comic Con program book with Adam Hughes, David Mack cover art. And so if you're a Hughes collector, that's probably a tough one. He's got a lot
pretty
of
cool.
Yeah,
I've never
right?
seen that. Yeah,
I
I like that.
I'm sure most of the She-Hulk people and the Hughes art fans will dig. There was also this one that came up. I don't recall seeing this one. I've seen a lot of Hughes sketchbooks. This is just not one I'm familiar with. So 2005's probably on the older side of his sketchbooks. Before he started really kind of getting going.
What it was like 2010? Like when did we all start? 2010, 2011? Like when
Yeah, I mean
you
his
started.
the Supergirl was 2008 or 2006. I mean, either way, this is not one I've come across. I mean, I've owned several. I just thought it was interesting.
$100 seems cheap, but I mean,
Maybe more. I don't know. There've been a few. I had the one with the thong name, and I mean, it always felt like it sold for more, and it never did. It always sold for like $60-$70. So it's just volume. Another obscure book for those that dig Bronze Age, the Black Hole 4 Whitman. Only came in 4-packs, supposed to be exceptionally rare. I don't see it come up too often. I have no idea who buys this book. Must be old school people collecting runs or just, have their heart set on this type book. But $300 is damn respectable. Good luck finding one, but if you see it, grab it.
oh, it's only available in a 4-pack? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty rare book for. It's on the rare end of those Whitmans. This
I
was a
love this
badass
book.
cover.
Yep, I love this.
Yeah. This is. I mean, it's got some definite damage on the edges and stuff, so I can't imagine it's probably in the nice presenting low mid grade. 3-4 maybe. But damn, that cover pops. So nice sale. Nice buy.
Before we go to the next one, look at this one. A little $5 super chat. The printing plate for Secret Wars 8 was floating around NYCC floor for $45,000. My boy
Wow.
Mazza was carrying around to each big dealer there. So.
Damn,
Did he sell it?
Wild. Wow.
that's pretty cool.
Damn.
Probably not the worst purchase if you got the
Printing
cash.
plates are a weird thing, man. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
even.
not the worst, not the best.
No, I don't. They're a weird. They're a weird niche.
It's like printing plates
Yeah.
on cards too. It's just like weird. Just like, oh, he sold it. Wow, good for him.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
if you got disposable income, it's a cool piece.
If you can't find the Secret Wars 8 original art, it's probably Dinesh has of everybody.
I just don't know.
Printing
I
plates.
mean, at that point, I'd probably just buy a more rare book. But I don't know if that's like your book. I guess that is one of the few pieces that's rare outside the art.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you too. I'll send it to everybody. I'll send it in our chat.
All right. Another sci-fi horror book, which is a weird crossover. Just like this image. I don't see this one almost ever. 5.0 black cover, cool concept, nice sale at 1,600. Of course, Blizzard. Had to include this one again. Another book you just don't see very often. First Scarecrow, 2.5.
It looks good for 2.5 too. Again, I don't see all the other photos. It looks like it's attached. The cover
Look decent.
That fourth cover, but
And I mean, that seems like a decent price for old school Batman, This was one Sean's buddy Big Clutch sold. I wasn't even aware of this one. The Spencer's promotional variant of Sonic, Hedgehog, Tangle, and Whisper Zero.
And he listed it wrong.
he listed it wrong.
He listed as 9.6. Yeah,
And I pressed it.
Good.
I've never even seen this one, so cool book for the Sonic fans.
Yeah.
Wonder if he would have got more money if he listed it right.
Is that a DeVoe? Is that a DeVoe book or something?
I don't know
Or
what
just
the hell
Clutch
it
knew.
is.
Okay,
No,
good.
I saw it's from Spencer's. I mean,
It's
I mean-
just weird that Clutch knew. I mean, Clutch is a smart guy. I'm not saying he's not smart. I just wonder where
he bought it anyway. He got a group of Modern Comics, just working a deal with somebody else for different stuff. I know that was part of it.
I'm gonna circle.
I got the box. I got the whole box to press. So.
I'm gonna circle back to this because I want to show this off to everybody too. I'll show this
Oh,
out.
God.
It's sick. So
That guy. I mean, that guy.
yeah, you'll see it. So
I have mixed feelings for that guy.
yeah, that's okay. I understand. We're trying to support Joe. No, it's okay.
Can I pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today?
Yeah.
Couple of rare Spawn books came up. A 9.4 of the
Wow.
Uh, 189 sketch variant. A 9.4, mind you, for 1,500. And
Did you see the other one that sold for like 18,000? The other Spawn comic.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Fuck, which one? What number was it? It's like
For
it might be
18K.
that one. Might be a 9.6 of that one.
Oh.
Yes. I don't. Okay.
This was the 9.6 of the 222, sold for 1,000. I mean, I've seen raw. I don't often see graded ones pop up. So that was interesting. These two came up 2 weeks apart, so 32, 34. So trending about the same for 9.4s the last couple weeks. Saw a set. This was last week. A set of kind of the Walking Dead Lucille's pop up. You got the red foil unsigned, the red foil sign. Wait, there's the unsigned foil, and the signed non-foil.
Yeah.
I made so many versions of this damn book.
It was a Spawn 185 sketch variant, 9.6 for 17,001.
Holy shit! So
I just put a link in the chat. I don't know if
this book. No.
185.
If you want to hit it down for me.
All right, Dino, you see if you can pull that. Oh, hold on, I'll get it down. Oh, damn.
And as much I think we talked about this in Beyond with Brian. Somebody showed up live during the show and said, "Hey, this just sold." And so and with all due diligence, as far as we can tell from the sellers, the bids, and everything else, and prior sales, that this is absolutely legit. I think a 9.4 sold for like 12 grand before.
Damn.
Yeah, and I somehow, just because you don't see the damn book, it's kind of gone under my radar because it's so freaking rare.
Yeah, that 185 produced some badass books.
I wonder if Sleepy knows these guys.
I don't know.
Just things I think about. And why this is happening. Hold on, we'll pull this up. This is look at this boy. Bang bang.
Yeah.
Original art of the Red Hood. Sick.
Wait a minute, is she being proposed to in front of the artwork?
Yeah, I think that's his fiance now. I don't know. But
if you own that, most girls will say yes. So.
And look, you got OA all around too. So I mean, it's good.
My brother saw that there was a 5.5 of that book up somewhere. He's like, "What it's going to take me to convince my wife it's a great investment over whatever else she wants."
Yeah, right. That's such a hard book, man. That's our glorious lawyer always wants one of these books. He's been looking for years to find that book, or you know what I'm saying. But
I think the issue is if you don't buy it when you see it, it's going to be more next time. All right, that's all I got today.
Pickups. How much you think that OA went for? I don't even want to know.
Dude, I'd be. I guess this would be wrong, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I would probably say hundreds of thousands, but
yeah,
easily six figures, not seven.
Yeah. There you go. I'll go with John.
I would bet somewhere between less than $500,000, but maybe 2 to 3K.
Pickups. I got one. So I waited a long time to get this book done. I didn't talk about it really because I didn't want to introduce my idea. But I did a sketchbook by Garrett Gunn. He's been a fan of the channel. He's been on the channel with Bird City Comics and all those fine folks over there. So I had I watch a lot of kids shows now because I have a kid. And Bluey is one of the shows I watch. So I did a little Stray Dogs Bandit Healer kind of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, and the cool thing is, so Lexington Comic Con, Bandit and Chili are going to sign the voice actors. So I think I'm going to try to get them to sign the book too.
Nice.
Shout out to Garrett Gunn, always the man. He
Did
posted
you
that.
find somebody going?
I think Stein might go. If not, I actually just might drive it because it'll be out in like March. So I tell the wife
It's not terrible.
He's gonna go to Lexington. Maybe we'll just make a weekend out of it. Yeah, shout out to Garrett Gunn, really good, great guy. He posted on his Facebook and his Instagram. He didn't reveal that it was me, but that's okay. I'll review it myself. No, it's a good thing. I thought, Stray Dogs. I've seen, Stray Dogs with Snoop Dogg and like Stray Dogs with like other cool iterations. I haven't seen a Bluey cover yet, so
Nice.
I thought,
I like it.
Yeah, so I think it's a good time. That's my only pickup. So.
None for me this week.
I've got a couple things that came in from playing the old Razzie game. So this just showed up today.
Nice.
Little 9.8 action on the Transformers sketch image edition. A book that I sold, and after I sold it, I was like, damn, really wish I had sold that. So got it back again. Wanna Chew, number 1.
Nice. I didn't see you win that.
Yeah. Want another book that'll hopefully be here by next week. I can show off that one.
Is that from the dead one now?
No. These are from the sister of the dead one.
Okay.
The one that was also running, that was like the smaller money, but now everybody lives in that one.
The
So
one
this-
that came after the
Original one.
Clutch Collectibles.
Yeah. Hey, we're trying to set up president. You know what I'm saying?
This guy was at CGC, like came back. I had to send it back in because CGC completely just missed that it was a double cover.
Oh,
So
Oh.
little
oh yeah. You
So
want
was
the
it-
double cover
The
on
grade
that.
was the same, right?
so outer cover, yeah, stayed at 9.4, but then they actually noticed there was an inner cover at a 9.6, so now it's 9.6.
Yeah,
Um,
double cover on something like that, you gotta have.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah,
it's a
for sure.
character first appearance. It's a double cover.
No, I swear there's another cover.
I'll quickly flash some of the stuff that came back from CGC. So you guys saw this when I bought it raw, but that just came back 9.8. That's the first printing, not the foil one. This guy, I somehow managed to be the guy who could somehow get these in 9.8 when
Wow.
that's just not supposed to happen because this back cover is normally trash.
All scratched up.
But yeah, this one, and this was all these books that I'm showing now that in this order were unpressed, unclean, straight pre-screen 9.8 Cinemount,
Jeez.
and they
What are
hit
9.8's Akira 1 going for? Do you even know?
it's like a $600. The Akira one is like a $480 to $500 book depending.
Interesting.
There was a point when it was $900, but live action Akira may or may not ever happen. So we'll see. Or actually, this came back 9.8, so yay. Let's see, and then random shit that I've been sitting on. I was like, need to get out the door. So 9.8, 8 billion genies. Some of the stuff that was so a testament to how well. We always talk about J. Scott Campbell being one of the good ones when it comes to his books and anything that he ships out. So these were those books that were part of that mystery
the box,
pack.
mystery box.
Yep. So again, 9.8 on that Ramita cover, 9.8 on the 125 X-Men Legends. So yeah, I was happy with those. 9.8 on the 30th anniversary Harley Quinn. Again, all these books were unpressed, unclean, just straight from my hands to the hands of CGC. Another person who packs, who takes really good care of his book, Alex Ross. So every single one of these I've submitted were unpressed, unclean, all come back 9.8. Let's see what else. This was playing that whole, let me see if I can just find super cheap high ratio variants on eBay. So Avengers 1 that just came out, 9.8, 1 in 200, 1 in 100, I don't remember. Let's see, stuff that you guys give a shit about. I've got a bunch of these Invincible 19s from STCC that I brought back home with me and then waited to submit. So, and all this stuff is up on my eBay, so if you want it, come get it. But yeah, that's about it for the stuff that's back from CGC. I'm still waiting on some magazine submissions to make their way back. But yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Mr. Leg.
Yeah. So I did this light for the first time. Let's see if it on or off works. So quick other wins. Brad Selden was in here a little bit ago.
Yeah.
So these are actually pretty cool. The aces. So I got a Nolan Ryan, Nolan Ryan and a Shohei SGC 10s. And honestly, I really like this case. Like I know it looks a little plain, but I don't really submit cards. And so
when PSA was like extremely long wait, I'm sure it is still. They Tony was going. Tony Levine
Really?
was going. Yeah. Was
yeah,
going.
I had
Tony
some friends
Allen's.
that did it too. I just hadn't seen as much. And these are actually they're not coming up as well. I don't know if this light will hurt it because I'm picking up slabs. So thanks, Brad. You threw in some extras. I appreciate that. This is a win. This is from the House of Stein. Good old all new Wolverine hip hop variant. Thank you very much.
Is that from his giveaway?
No, this
For his
is this is good old Rasmus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
so I got some books back from CGC, so I'll show them as I go. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, first appearance. Tell me if this is better or worse, real quick. Does it matter?
About the same.
Yeah, about the same.
It's more the monitor glare.
Okay. So anyway, that's black also. So anyway, that's the number one first appearance, hip hop variant. I think the rarest of her 9.8. Kiddo, speaking of, maybe not more than the variant.
I've been looking for that book forever for 9.8, man.
Probably not. Yeah. Well, I got one now. So speaking of Red Hood, here we go. So I've been grading my own books instead of everybody else's. Yeah, so this is in here. Yeah. So it's just stuff that's been in the closet forever. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, all right. So I know the grades. It's a pre-screen here. So everything I show is going to be 9.8. These are every single one of these is from today. Actually, and this, there's like a $10 pickup. But still, I love the Hans cover on this.
Yeah,
how long did it take you? I had a bunch of those. How long did you guys wait for your books to get turned?
A week.
Yeah, like 2 weeks tops.
Yeah, 2 weeks, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it's quick. They've been opening them like same day half the time, even faster. So I'm good with it right now. This is super rare. I think there's like 9.8s. Wolverine 305. 1 in 50, I think is McNiven, right? Yeah, McNiven cover from 2012. So actual rare variants. Actual rare variants. Wolverine 305 had that in there forever. Waited to grade it. And here we go. Again, these you've all seen them before. But the whatnot stuff. I had ones that I hadn't graded. The Omni-Mans sell the best, I think, because they're actually a lot more limited than the others. The Adam and Eves are just like great covers. So relooked at them today. I do love, so I pick up on there. I pointed out a bunch of times, but along the side, what am I about? 4th row down on the edge, it says Big Leg. I noticed it starts off with $1. So shout out to Richie.
Nice.
At the bottom, we got Yeezy Yee right here. There could be is Tails on here, or
Probably not.
Would he get mad after then?
Nah, it's okay.
I don't know. It might have been in McClay by then. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't see a Tails.
That's fine. I'm not worried.
But yeah, I don't think so. This is a cool one. There was something wrong with the slab if I didn't seal the top, which means I don't know if I have to go back. But this is Del Otto for Uncanny X-Men #1.
I got one of those.
Great run. Yeah. It is not the best Del Otto, but Del Otto, these characters, always great. And I'm pretty sure I bought this is 2013. I'm 95% sure I bought this on the rack the day this came out.
Huh.
So
just sitting there, and it was like, you know what? I mean, it's bagged and boarded. It's the variant. It's not like I read it. I did read the comic that day. Again, just more rare. So Nick Bradshaw for Uncanny X-Force. This is number 19. I want to say it's a 1 in 25. So anything with these characters, I generally like to grab. What else do we have here? We get into sort of these sort of X titles. I got some of these Finches. So X-Force 28 ratio, I think 1 in 25 Finch. Kind of difficult to find. Really like the Cable and Hope art right here. Nice.
Yeah. So cool book. Again, very, very, very low amount of 9.8s on any of these. They were actually rare. They're not still for variants, etc. Same with the Second Coming Finch cover. I just think it's gorgeous, and I love the actual ratios. Actual ratios were tough to find, and I always bought them. So now I'm deciding to grade them. This one's super tough. Also, this is there's only 7 or 8 9/8 of this is a Phil Noto. I want to say this is the 1 in 50, but gorgeous 9.8 here.
I had the sketch cover of that one, I think.
The sketch I think is the 1 in 100. There's always this is one of those ones where there's always seems to be more of the sketch on eBay than more of the color, more of the sketch than the color, even though it's more rare. Don't know why that is. But yeah, I've looked at it a bunch of times. This is this book. I found it in the closet and I never really noticed that it took off.
I got that book too.
Yeah, so there's like 8 9/8. It's like $500 9/8.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's like 8 another Noto cover. I think there's maybe this is the 8th or 9th 9/8 that's come up with this. So Astonishing X-Men number 61, I believe. Yeah, from 2013. So tough book to find, Noto. And to be honest, I knew I had the book, and I just didn't realize. And I knew it wasn't easy to find, but I definitely didn't realize that it was like a $500 book. So finding money in your closet is the best place to find it, right? So this might be my favorite one, and I think this is also the 8th or 9th 9/8, the X-Men 4 Mayhew Vampire cover.
Oh yeah,
love all these. I think it's this maybe $150 $200 9/8, but this is for being so rare. I'm surprised any of these except for the X-23 don't get that much love. It could be just because I like vampire shit. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But I really like Mayhew also, so it could be it. But I don't know. I think this is a great cover. A few, 3 more good ones. Another rare book. This is one of my favorite Ramos covers. It's Venom 23. So I think this is the 1 in 50. But this is pretty rare. Again, maybe 10 9/8 or something like that. So this is really happy this one passed. This one, I know it's not the first one, but it might be the first annotated one. So here's X-Men Omega Gold, holochrome, chromium, whatever you want to say, newsstand.
Oh.
So X-Men 1 Omega, and it even says on the Lego Gold Edition newsstand edition. And this thing, honestly, it looks better in a slab. If you're not able to see it, I tried to record it earlier to put on Instagram, which I might do tomorrow. But it absolutely, it just really pops. Chromium greater than foil all freaking day long, dude. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah,
yeah. This thing.
That was like a $500 book. Well, 400.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was a dollar written pickup. That's just been in my closet in an old ass bag and board from a garage sale or dollar bin or something. A ratty bag and board. And I was like, there's some minor scratches on it. And I was like, you know what? I'll just submit it. And to be honest, I didn't pay attention that it was newsstand. I just didn't pay attention because I don't. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's the gold edition. Yeah. I wouldn't even think it would be newsstand. And even if it was only that, but I looked online and it does say direct on the other ones. So I'm not sure that they were less rare. And so this one's pretty, and everybody can hate on all the foils, chromes, all they want, but this is
oh yeah,
yeah. Also, this is the Italian. So this is the
that one's a badass book.
Yeah, this is the second 9/8 of the Italian version. Where's the other one from, John?
Not
there's
a French one here.
Is it French?
Yeah, but it's not nearly as badass. It's got it's not virgin. It's not foil.
This is too bright. This thing is gorgeous. This stupid glare. Yeah. So I got this. I did get this from International Josh Office Whatnot. At least 1.5 years, 2 years ago. He hasn't been on there a long time. And I've been waiting to grade it. And I was going to grade some of the foils some of the forms at the same time. But this was like, this is tapping 9.8, I thought, and I was right. So it went in the pre-screen rather than with the other ones where I had to look them up. So this thing is absolutely gorgeous. JG Jones, friend of the show.
Yeah.
So this is Superior Spider-Man 17. Well, you know how they started doing the labels better than I do, which is also Amazing Spider-Man 8. So that's Superior Spider-Man 32, Edge of Spider-Verse number 1, and Spider-Man 2099 number 1 inside. and it didn't really look. I wonder if it's got to be the new Spider-Man 2099, right? But anyway, yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a badass book.
Yeah, so that's it. I picked those up from the post office today, and I was very happy.
We are in the midst of superb buyer's market. Are you boys attacking or making a mistake of it in action? I don't know. I'm not really buying anything. Really, unless it's a super crazy deal or something.
It's just hard. I'm taking the time to grade more of my own stuff that I've been slacking on doing work for other people. Yeah, my buying just hasn't been as up because I don't know. It's hard to know what's gonna hold. Now, if you're talking, flipping silver keys or whatever, it's maybe you should be looking for more auctions or something like that. It's hard to know. That stuff will hold, but it's still soft. So we'll have to see. I don't know.
Same thing. GA's been kind of soft too.
I like buying in person because I feel like I know what I'm getting. So
I'm not personally sure the pain is over in the real world, so I'm not chasing. I'm also dealing with a kid turning 16 and having to figure out a car. So,
oh yeah,
it's hamstringing me a little more than I would like.
Yeah, I got preschool at
also
$300 every month.
My fascination with random OA and video game art and other shit's distracting me more. So,
yeah, I'm gonna say buying a house and dumping money into my Nova is really where my priorities have been.
Me buying dumb shit like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying I won't buy something, but I'm still waiting. I don't think it's going to turn around in the next 3 to 6 months personally. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think it's
let's hope tax time next year is nice. And let's hope and to be honest, my buy it nows have been doing fine. My good shit's been selling at what I consider to be, decent prices. So if
maybe
you have
Christmas
the right
might help us
stuff
out
there,
too.
Yeah, I'm not running auctions.
I've been running auctions and just been okay. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Dino before the show, I was like, if I held out, I could probably get another $50 to $60 out of these things, having somebody make offers. But it's only on stuff where I'm like, okay, the market's kind of saturated, like Secret Wars 8, things like that, where it's like there's legitimately there is somebody at every single $10 at the same grade point, just undercutting the next guy. So I'm like, well, I'm okay with getting $20 less than the lowest buy it now. And that's usually what's been happening is that people will work me up to, within $10 to $20 of the cheapest buy it now. And I'm just like, would it be worth waiting 3 to 4 months for somebody to eventually get around to me and buy my copy? Or is that cash in hand worth more to me than?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, it's cash in hand.
Yeah. And so that's the game I've been playing.
I'm with you, and I just list them. I've been listing a little high and running sales, so I'm gonna have a whole lot of books. I just did a lot of listings, and then in the next, and basically you can't pre-list your CGC because you got to see if the cases are scratched up or there's shit floating around in them, and their scans are getting a little worse because there's dirt and lint and people's hairs all over their scanners now, so they're not quite as clean. The quality is the same, but I'll be like, oh man, it looks like there's a pube on there. my beard shred and there's pubes on the black books. You know what I mean? Yeah. That vampire book looks terrible, man. You just see everything on there. I'm like, okay, but I just gotta make sure that it's okay. So,
you two also trended in different stuff. I mean, Chris tends to have a lot of bread and butter bronze and copper, and you tread a little more in the variants, so it's a little more dangerous to auction obscure stuff.
Yeah, most of that shit I showed isn't like that. But if you're doing just Spider-Man and stuff like that, and I would run an auction it'd probably have to be 20 or 30. I never run one thing. No. It'd have to be 20 or 30. I gotta put a couple keys. Sometimes I'll just buy shit to throw in the auction just because people are gonna look for it. Try to get my money back on a cheap low grade Spidey 300 or something, just to get eyes on your other crap, you know. So that's what's going on. And I just keep, as I price higher, I take offers, and also I constantly run a sale for a month at a time. Once I get everything listed, I'll throw up another sale next week. So yeah, all this stuff. I'm basically, all this stuff's gonna go up. I don't know. I haven't priced most of it, but anybody wants any of that stuff, let me know. But I do like them. That's the only thing about grading your own books. You like them all.
Yeah, right.
That's why you bought them. Yeah, some are definitely for flips, but like some are like, damn, this is gorgeous.
Wish I wouldn't have got the 9.8 because I wouldn't have been tempted, you know.
I mean,
yeah, quit pre-screening so I can dump 9.4s. Yeah.
Every time I get an Akira 9.8, I'm like, oh man, this is what I'm going to hold on to. And then, like, I mean, this one I didn't even bother. Like, I stuck that one actually in one of the Razzie group, and like everybody like lit up. I was like, oh, I guess this is special. I forget that. I've been fortunate that I've had about 3 or 4 9.8s that book, but like a lot of people just don't end up getting their hands on one because it's hard to submit 9.8 on your own. So
No, and I don't even see it floating around. I don't know. Must be a regional thing.
yeah, I mean, we got a lot of old comic book shops who got them in and they didn't sell, and so you'll come across them and they've never even been opened. That's really the only way you can get a 9.8 on those like prestige format books.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that legitimately a shop they never sold them, they never got open, and they just kept changing hands and collections, having never been read, and eventually they just worked their way around to me, and I'm just like, I grade shit. So that's a 9.8.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. All that stuff I've got. I'm going to LA Comic Con in it's probably 6 weeks, but hopefully find some stuff there. Maybe hit some shops between now and then, but I'm not I trying to find stuff online. It's just been a little more difficult, not worth the risk. And I've been basically spending my money on grading. My comic money's gone to grading instead of going to more comics. But I've been needing to need to do that.
Well,
I have a lot more
grading
stuff to go
begets
through.
more money, which begets more opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, that's it, man. I appreciate everybody on the show. I appreciate all the watchers. Carter's off, I think, this week too. I think he's working crazy hours. So I think we're might get a comic shop talk this Friday. I think they were gone too. So we're trying to get back on schedule here. Hopefully we can do it. And that's it. We'll tell everybody good night, and you'll see us in a little bit. So, peace.
Thanks, guys.